Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. At the ADP Research Institute, we've spent a better part of the year documenting the unprecedented changes to employment caused by COVID 19. We surveyed 32,000 workers across 17 countries to understand their attitudes, their behavioral responses, and their opinions about this new world of work. Well, we've seen that the advent of a more flexible work environment has really allowed people to take a hard look at their living arrangements and make changes. Three-fourths of the global workforce reported that they either have made changes or plan to make changes to their living arrangement. And this trend was even more apparent for Gen Z, the youngest workers ages 18 to 24. 85% of Gen Z said that they were thinking about or had already made a change to how they were living or where they are living as a result of the pandemic. Now, the key question going forward is how many of these changes stick? Do people move back to their original locations? And it's going to have huge implications across the globe in terms of internal migration patterns and local housing dynamics. Not only are we seeing that many employees have actually taken on new responsibilities, we've also seen that 7 in 10 received a bonus or a pay raise for doing so. So that's good news. In fact, one of the silver linings in the survey, according to workers, is that they may even like their jobs and their new responsibilities post COVID more than they like them pre COVID. But underneath this overall better trend, there is some concerning differences between men and women. And those differences are really hitting home here in North America, particularly in the United States. Over 60% of men reported getting compensated for additional responsibilities taking on compared to just over 50% of women. So we know that women have been particularly impacted by the pandemic. They've left the workforce at greater rates. There was already a pay gap going into the pandemic with women getting paid about 80 cents on the dollar for every dollar that a man makes. So this added nuance in the survey period that women were less likely to get paid for added responsibilities than men is something that companies should really keep track of to make sure that gains in parity are not lost due to the pandemic. I'd like to end on a little bit of optimism because there is some good news within this report. Yes, it was a challenging year. Yes, consistently, a universally consistent result was that employees actually did struggle with work-life balance, maintaining their health, keeping their families safe, having delineation between work and home. Yes, those were all challenges. But also remained consistent is resiliency and optimism about the future. And so we see that trend as well. Workers are still optimistic about the next 5 years of employment. Some of them are even pointing to the added accommodation for workplace flexibility as part of that optimism. So some good news to end a very long year for employees across the world. To find our People at Work, a Global Workforce View report, please go to adpri.org. And of course, for more insights on the week ahead, you can check out our blog. Thank you for watching and be well.